Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Sammy here with another video, and in today's video I am continuing my goal setting series for setting up my 2024 MakseLife flagship planner. Last week I actually took some time to not really set up, but I guess go through my 2023 reflections with you guys, and I went through this book with you. I did it off camera and then just thought it would be fun to chat about it, but for the rest of the series I'm going to try my very best to do stuff with you live. And so this is part 2, and in this part of my goal setting series I am going to be focusing on my first goal assessment in the beginning of the planner, and then writing out my intentions for the year. And I cannot believe I'm actually going to be jumping into this planner. It has felt like a lifetime that I've had this, even though I went through like the whole debacle with losing it in the mail and then getting it. And anyways, that's a long story. But I did decide to go with the Embrace the Messy Bits planner this year. It just really spoke to me. I do have a whole flip through of this video, or of this planner, and the accessories that I purchased, and I'll make sure to link that in the cards above. But let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm so excited. I'm excited about the coil and just everything, you guys. So much excitement. So I did kind of go ahead and already put down some stickers in the front. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this. And last year, I guess this current year, 2023, I decided to put these elephant stickers in here, and I wrote like this thing that Sierra said about how the elephant is the mascot of MakseLife and a reminder to dream big, and I really liked that and thought it was fun. And I've had these stickers just kind of hanging around and thought, why not put them in this year's planner? So I have this planner, Steve. He actually came off of my old laptop that broke, and my husband was gonna smash it with a hammer, throw it away, that sort of thing. But I did not want to give up my cute little planner, Steve. And so luckily, Christian Design stickers are removable. So I was able to peel him off, and he is going to forever live in this planner. And then I have some fun like MakseLife stickers that say like living the MakseLife. My mindset is my superpower. These goals look good on you. And then I found this one. I don't know where it came from, but it says make yourself proud. And then I purchased this one from Plan with Lakin that says small steps is momentum, momentum is motivation, and motivation is progress. I just love that. And so we're gonna set up this bad boy today by putting my name in it. And I debated whether to write my name in it like I did last year, or I made like a custom, let me see if I can find it. I don't even know where it went. Oh yeah, it's right here. I made like this custom like planner sticker to go in and cover it up, but I thought it was too big, and like the more I looked at it, the less I liked it. But I'm gonna hold on to it and see if I can use it somewhere else. And I decided I would just go to my try and true stickers, my letter stickers that I like to use to spell out my name. And I love these hot pink foil ones. I think they match my planner so well with the pinks. And I got the pink folio this year. It's a light pink folio, but I just thought that would be so much fun. So I'm just gonna quickly put my name in here, and then we will get going. I'm just gonna put Sammy, and then, come on. I hate how they sometimes just like don't want to come up. And then we will get started. I'm not gonna put my phone number or my email in here. I actually might come back to it and write like the start date, like today's date. when I actually started moving in. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it blank. There you go. I don't know if it's even or not, but it looks good to me. Embrace the imperfections. Embrace the messy bits. All is well. Okay. I really do like that though. That feels like me. It's good. Alrighty. We're gonna just flip through all of this. Last year I spent time like marking this up and stuff, and I might do that later, but not on camera. It's fine. But let's go ahead and jump into the compass assessment. So if you're new here, MakseLife is all based on this life compass, and what you're supposed to do is on the following pages, you're going to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 for how well each statement applies to you, where a 1 means it doesn't apply and a 10 means it strongly applies. Then in each area of your life, you're going to add up the ratings and divide that number by 8 to arrive at an average score. Then you're going to fill in the sections on the life compass that correspond with your score. Each area will have different parts of the pie graph shaded in, and then so here's an example. It will be shaded and represent where you're at in life. So here is the assessment. You only get one assessment at the beginning of the year, but then you're supposed to revisit and kind of compare your scores every quarter. So like at the end of March, there's a quarterly compass where you compare the beginning of the year to here where you're at now at the end of March. But you don't get this like scoring sheet, but you can get these scoring sheets on their website. It is like a free printable that you can use, and so that's actually what I did here is I printed them out. Spoiler, I've already kind of done the compass assessment. I wanted to do it by myself and kind of think through some things, because I'm not gonna lie, the MakseLife system, it is very, in my opinion, streamlined and simplified way of setting goals and very straightforward, but it's also very personable, and you need to take this time for yourself and do it chunk by chunk and really revisit these things over and over again. So I actually have done like 3 or 4 of these, and this is the one I'm sticking with. These numbers do kind of correspond and are pretty much, they are the same of my year in review scores in my reflections notebook that we filled out last week and I talked about. But we're going to go a little bit more into depth talking about why I got those scores. And so that's what my focus is today. I do recommend that you do take the assessment more than once, just to kind of get an average score of all of your scores, just because I feel like your mood and how your day is going also affects how you're going to rank yourself. Like if you're feeling really crappy about yourself, of course you're going to give yourself really bad scores. If you're like on cloud 9 having the best day of your life, of course you're going to give yourself the benefit of the doubt and give yourself better scores. And so take some time. This is your time. I wanted to honor my time and do it off camera, but now we're going to fill this out together and I'm going to talk about each of these things. So personal. The questions are, my basic needs are taken care of. I gave myself an 8 because I feel like they are. I generally feel happy and fulfilled is a 6. I have a positive attitude and outlook on life. I gave myself a 7 because I feel like I typically do. I give myself grace for my limits and imperfections. I need to work on that. So I gave myself a 5. I regularly take time for planning, reflection, and self-care. I gave myself an 8 because I feel like I do that a lot. I'm comfortable spending time alone as a 9. I'm very comfortable doing my own thing and being by myself. There are hobbies and interests I engage in regularly. I gave myself a 7. And then there are personal goals or projects that I want to achieve or accomplish. And I gave myself a 9 because there are things that I want to accomplish. And so overall, that score is a 7. And so one thing that I like to do with the first assessment is highlight those low scores. And it's normally anything that's a 5 or a 6. I do highlight 6s as well. A 6 or lower is typically what I do. And so I'm going to highlight, I generally feel happy and fulfilled. And I give myself limits or grace for my limits and imperfections. Because that is what I'm going to focus on when it comes to goal setting for that category. So now we're just going to quickly go through fun and recreation. I'm not going to talk about every single one of them, or else that is going to take forever, because there are 8 questions per each category, and there are 8 categories. And so as much as you would all probably want to sit here and listen to me talk deeply about my life, I'm not going to do that, but I will talk about the stuff I'm highlighting. So I take regularly planned vacations and or time off. I feel like this one is hard for me being a teacher because I'm only given 10 sick days, and then we get like 2 personal days a year. If we don't use our 2 personal days that year, then they roll over into the next school year as sick days. So that's how we build up sick leave. But like, I don't have like vacation time. I have my breaks that I take off, or that I don't take off, but I'm given, like Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, spring break, that kind of stuff. And so really my options are doing vacations in the summer or using those breaks, because I really can't take any other time off, if that makes sense. And so for me, I don't really take regularly timed off unless I interpret that as I use my vacation time or my breaks for fun and recreation. I don't know. And then that would come to me talking with my husband about actually doing things, because he also could be better at that. But I have a note by that to plan a family vacation. The next one is I create moments for rest and rejuvenation. I do not allow myself to rest on my days off. I'm always working on other things and pushing myself past my limits most of the time. So I need to work on that. I have fun in ways that serve my highest and best self. I gave myself a 6 on that one because I don't really advocate for myself in that way. I always just kind of do what everyone else wants to do and kind of go with it. And so I need to be better about doing things that I want to do. I reward myself when I accomplish a goal. I do not do that at all. And I actually watched a video from Plan with Lakin on that, and so I'm going to refer back to that video and get some ideas of how I can reward myself this year when it comes to my goals and achieving them. And then I do things on a regular basis that bring me joy. I gave myself a 6 on that one because my biggest question is, are the things that I'm doing meaningful? That's something I really want to focus on, is how am I spending my time, and is it meaningful in a good way? So work and learning. I know this one is going to be low because I have been struggling with my job, and I actually have enjoyed taking the time to think about these things, because this is a big one that normally has gotten like the highest score, but now it's pretty average. But the first one, I'm enthusiastic about and engaged in what I'm doing for my life's work. I don't think I am anymore right now. I think I'm just kind of stagnant and going through the motions. I'm not enthusiastic about going to work because I'm always in fear of what is going to happen when I get to work. How are my students going to act? Like, I'm just always on high alert. And so that's taken the fun out of my job, really. The next one is I am fulfilled by the work I do and believe it adds value. And once again, I am really questioning that. I don't feel fulfilled because I feel like I am just a glorified babysitter right now. A babysitter of teenagers who cannot, for the life of them, even remember to write their name on their assignment. And it's just so frustrating. And I don't really feel like my job adds value right now because I don't feel valued in my position. Like, I don't have the support that I'm looking for, that I need as a teacher. And so I'm just struggling a lot in that way. I have positive interactions at work. I put that also as a 6. I feel like for the most part, all of the interactions I have with the adults are positive, like the other teachers. We all are feeling the same way. But we're there to support each other. But a lot of my interactions and majority of my job is with students, and those are not positive interactions. I expand my skills through continued growth and development. I have not really done that this year. I've kind of stopped caring about how I can be better for obvious reasons. I have an actionable plan to support the growth and success I desire. I gave myself a 6. I kind of have some ideas, but to be determined. So that one also ended in a 6. Okay, now we're on to family and relationships. We're going to quickly get through these. Okay, so this one's also a 6. And I'm just going to go ahead and highlight, more highlighting, less chit-chatting, but hopefully you can kind of see my process behind all of this. I really like highlighting things. I'm kind of worried it's bleeding. It is kind of bleeding a little bit, but that's fine. I like highlighting things just to help me visually see where I'm at and what I need to do to work on and make an actionable plan. So, for health and wellness, this is also a category that I really want to focus on for 2024. And so I'm really, really excited about this one. Even though I know there's going to be a lot of highlighting in this section, I'm trying to look at the highlighting as places for improvement rather as criticism towards myself. When I started doing the highlighting, that's kind of how I felt the first time. Okay, so we have a 5 for health and wellness. Spiritual. I need to write things down first. This one also, I feel like there can be a lot of improvement, but it also makes me excited to see that next assessment in March and where I've grown. And I think that's one of my focuses. Where am I going to grow this year? Because as you can see based off these scores, and I kind of talked about this last time in my reflection video, I'm pretty average across the board. Like, I did not make a lot of improvement the way I would have liked to, but that's okay. That's why there's always this year, right? Okay, once again, lots of improvement with finances. And then lastly, physical environment. This one actually makes me super happy because I know last year at this time, this was one of the lowest scores. And I'm already highlighting things before I'm writing, because I'm referring to the paper that I've already done this on. Okay, so there is the assessment, all highlighted. I do have like extra notes written down, and I will go back through and like write those down later off camera, just so I can have that like organic. It's not really organic because I've already done it, but just like see that process actually documented in my planner. So now we're gonna go back to, sorry, I just want to check something. Okay, we're gonna go back to the life compass and hurry and fill this out. I've already filled it out with my in my reflections notebook, but I'm going to fill it out here. And one thing that I saw some people do is actually use the highlighters. So I'm gonna try that. I'm a little worried that they're gonna bleed, but that's fine. We'll just try our best and fill this out. So like I said, personal got a 7. And then fun and recreation got a 6. Work and learning also got a 6. Family and relationships also got a 6. Health and wellness got a 5. Spiritual growth got a 6. Financial got a 5. And then physical environment got a 7. And so I'll write those scores in these little bubbles kind of over the icon that they go with. And then I want to quickly set like a goal for each of them, where I want to be in the next one or in March. And so for personal, kind of looking at what I have going on, I really just need to improve 2 things. And I know that the things I need to improve on are probably going to take longer than 3 months, but I want to at least see an 8. I'd be happy with another 7, but I'd like to see an 8. Fun and recreation. I have a lot of stuff to work on. Some of it could be better than others. I don't know. It's just the progress. So once again, I'd be happy with a 7. Work and learning. By March, I want to be at a 7. I know that these are little progress, but I think that it's realistic. Instead of being like, oh, I'm at a 6, I want to be at an 8 or a 9 in that category, depending on what it is. With family and relationships, though, I really feel like I could get to an 8. So I'm going to shoot for an 8. Health and wellness, I am going to shoot for a 7. Okay, spiritual growth, kind of looking at where I have the lower scores, like the 5s and the 4s. I'm going to shoot for, I think, a 7. Finances, I am going to shoot for a 6. I think that is realistic. And then with physical environment, I'm going to shoot for an 8. I feel like just those little improvements are going to be what set me up for success. Instead of trying to shoot so high, it doesn't feel like I can get to it, if that makes sense. So now we're going to move on to my intentions for the year, and I'm actually really excited about this. I've also brain dumped a lot about these things and what I want to focus on, and so I'm going to use my markers to kind of decorate it as well. So I think I'm going to hurry and highlight some of those keywords, what I could use more of in my life this year, what I could use less of in my life this year, what characteristics would I like to nurture this year. 3 habits. This year, I will be more. I will do less. I will give myself grace. I will let go. And then I will embrace. I really like just how simple that looks. It looks really good. Okay, here we go. So what I could use more of in my life this year. I really thought about this and brain dumped a lot of different things, but some of the things that kept coming back the more and more I did this is simplicity. And this really also comes from what I wrote down in my reflections. I need to simplify my life a lot, and so I really want more simplicity. I also want more clarity. I kind of feel a little like foggy right now. I'm not physically, but just mentally. With like my job and just some things with my home life and just in general, like I just want some clarity. I'm like, what my purpose is in life. I want more boundaries. I feel like I have been really good since I went to therapy and I've graduated therapy about setting boundaries, but I feel like I could be a little bit better with that and like honoring those boundaries. I also want more determination. I am a very inspired person and I'll make the plan and everything, but then like I don't know. I kind of fizzle out sometimes. I question myself, and that's really what gets me is the self-doubt. I want more achievement. I want to see myself kick 2024's trash. Like, I don't know. I just feel very, you could say competitive. Like, I want to win 2024. I know that sounds funny, but I really want to see those wins come to life and really see myself grow. I want more connection and contentment. I want to be content with the life that I have and not look at what my neighbor has as a figure of speech. What could I use less of in my life this year? Definitely clutter, both physical and mental. I've mentioned this a few times, but I'm really going to stick to a no-buy year, I think, to eliminate a bunch of the clutter that I have acquired. And then just really getting into the habit of like brain dumps and journaling and getting all of the mental stuff out of my head. I'm also gonna have less comparison. That is a big one for me. Scrolling on social media. It wastes my time so much. Excuses. And I like that word better than procrastination because I feel like I just give myself excuses. I don't put things off too much. It's more that I just don't do them because of a silly reason or like an inconvenience. And then people pleasing. I really need to kick that one to the curb. Okay, what characteristics would I like to nurture this year? I would like to nurture more optimism. I feel like I'm a pretty positive person, but I want to be more optimistic. I want to be able to acknowledge that things are crappy sometimes, but I also see that there's going to be light at the end of the crappy tunnel, and be optimistic about life. I need more confidence. I want to nurture confidence in myself. Once again, contentment, I feel like, is a big one that keeps coming up. Mindfulness. I want to be mindful about how I'm using my time and what I'm doing with my time, that sort of thing. And then authenticity. I want to be authentic. I want to fully embrace who I am and be proud of that. 3 habits I want to develop this year. I want more movement in my life. And instead of like writing like working out or cardio or something like health specific, I'm just going to put movement because I want to just move my body more. I want to actually exercise. I want to get out and do things. Like, it's not just pertaining to exercise. Yes, it could be focused on exercise, but I just want to move more. I want to develop better routine, especially my night routine. I've had some kind of like breakthroughs with that. And so I want to develop a better routine. And then once again, I want to have a habit of mindfulness. I want to be able to journal and write things down and have that like self-connection, as well as like be mindful and be like, oh, I've been just like mindlessly scrolling on Instagram for 45 minutes. What could I have done in that 45 minutes to actually better myself than scroll on my phone? That type of thing. This year I will be more confident in the life I live as I slow down. That's really important. And become more mindful of my choices. I'm trying to think how I'd end this. Confident in the life I live as I slow down and become more mindful of my choices. On a daily basis. I'm gonna squeeze basis in right there. I like that. I will do less, I'm gonna put this in quotes, busy living. I heard this term the other day and I'm like, yes, that's what I'm doing. Except I just wrote busy live. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness for whiteout. Busy living through mindless scrolling, overspending, comparing, myself to others, and making excuses. I like that. I will give myself grace for making mistakes. And falling down. As I have learned what I really want and need in life. I will let go of too high expectations that I've given myself. I'm gonna put of myself. And what life should look like in general. I feel like we get stuck in this trap with comparison, especially with like social media, of like what our life should look like, what I should be doing, and we get kind of lost of like what we really should be doing. And so I really want to let go of all of these stupid, unrealistic expectations that I've given myself, that I have acquired from social media, and really just live my life. I will embrace the small moments, my choices, connection, learning, and all the messy bits. There's a reason I picked this planner, and I'm so excited to like watch it come to life. That's like the purpose and everything. So now, after reflecting on your answers, you're supposed to brainstorm a list of words that resonates with you and encompasses your ideal year ahead. So I did this on another piece of paper. And some of the ideas that I got were growth, intentional, clarity, clear, slow, purposeful, mindful, simple. And one word really kept coming back, and it wasn't a word that I really wrote down in my intentions, in my intentions, but it is, in fact, something that like all this is. And the word that I came up with was intentional. And I normally try to write this really cute or whatever, make it just super cutesy, and I'm just gonna write the word. I'm gonna write it in all caps. And it's gonna probably look messy, but that's okay, because that's the whole point, is I don't want to be messy, but I want to embrace myself and be intentional about things. So my word is intentional, and I'm really excited about this word. It really speaks to me in a lot of ways. It kind of feels funny that my word for the year is intentional and I'm writing it on my intentions page. But I really feel like I need to be more intentional about living life and doing things for myself, having purpose behind things, instead of just doing things merely just to do them, because everyone else is doing them. And so what my word means to me, living with intention. I'm going to capitalize it again because I really want it to stick out. Living with intention means to say no to things that aren't important. So I can say yes to what matters most. And being intentional, I heard this quote and I really liked it, but let me write it down really quick so I don't mess it up. So the quote is, being intentional means to live on purpose rather than on autopilot. And I just love that because I have really been living on autopilot these last few years. I will acknowledge that, especially just because I graduated college and started teaching and became a mom, like all within like months of each other. And so my daughter's 3 now, and I'm finally ready to acknowledge that I have just been living in survival mode or on autopilot and not really living a meaningful and an intentional life. And I feel like I'm in a spot where I can start doing that. And I'm so excited to watch this word guide my life for the next year and just kind of see the changes that happen. And so if you've made it this far, because I know that this video is probably going to be one of the longer ones, because I really wanted to share this process with you guys. Thank you for being here. Here are my intentions for the year. I have that all set up, and I feel so good about my scoring assessment and where I have done with that. So thank you guys so much for being here today and watching today's video. Next week, I'm going to jump into my annual goals, and we're going to be setting my annual goals together and doing the breakdown of that. And so I cannot wait to do that with you guys. Let me know down in the comments below if you have started working on your MakseLife prep work, I guess is what you could call this. If you have a MakseLife planner, if not, let me know if you are doing a word of the year and what your word is, what that means to you. And of course, if you have any questions about anything, please leave those in the comments also. Thank you so much for being here today. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my planning content here on YouTube. And until next time, guys, I'll see you all later. Bye.